Druk ervoor.
Morning. Yeah. Good to see you, Anna. You okay?
All good. First three, yeah.
Yeah, sure. First of all, Anna, how satisfied are you with the business that you've been able to do this week? Chiesa and Mamardashvili, and what chance is there of maybe another signing on deadline day?
Again, a lot of questions in one question. Of course, we're happy with the ones we signed because I said many times that it's difficult for us to make the team even stronger because we already have a very strong team. And if we then find them, of course, we're very happy with that. So Chiesa is someone who can help us for the short term. And Mamashvili, I think I pronounced it then really good, is I think one of the examples where this club did in the past very good as well. That we look also at the future, long-term future of the club, and that's why we signed him.
Any chance of...
Oh yeah, that was your last question. I'm not expecting anything, but again, it's no difference than all the days before. If we see an opportunity, we could act, but I'm not expecting anything.
Just wanted to ask you about Kelleher with Mamardashvili coming in next summer and his long-term future. I mean, how do you see it? Because you've got 2 years left on his contract, but obviously it's going to be different competition for places with Mamardashvili coming in. So at his age, I'd imagine he's got a decision to make on his future, hasn't he?
Maybe, but we have to make decisions as well. It's not only the player. I think if you work at a club like Liverpool, you need competition, and we need a lot of good players. And like I said, Mamashvili is someone for the long future of the club, and I'm really, really happy with the goalkeepers we have at the moment. And Cruyff is one of them, like Fit and Ali. So we're in a good place when it comes to goalkeepers for now and for the long term.
Good start to the season. You've obviously already faced Manchester United in the summer as well, but how different an experience are you expecting going to Old Trafford in the Premier League?
It's going to be different, of course, because when we played them in the States, I think it was 50-50 when it was about the fans. The stadium was somewhere the same. I think it was 80,000 or something like this. But the atmosphere will be completely different, of course, because I'm not expecting half of the stadium that they are cheering for us or they're in favor for us. Would be a surprise though if it happens. So that's going to be different, but what makes it more different is that both teams have a lot of different players on the pitch. So you can't compare that game with the game on Sunday.
Hi Anna, what have you been told about this fixture? What's been said to you around the club this week ahead of going to Old Trafford?
Some of them try to tell me a few things about it, but I don't think that's really necessary. If you're starting to work at Liverpool, everybody knows, every player that comes in knows that, and every manager that comes in knows how important the game against United is. It's similar to when you work at Feyenoord, how big the game against Ajax is. So people tell you, of course, but it's not really necessary, because if you follow the game of football, which I do, for a long time, you know the importance of Liverpool against United or United against Liverpool.
Obviously 2 Dutch managers in charge. You've already met Eric, both in your home country, but then in pre-season too. How would you describe your relationship with him?
As good and as normal as the relationship you have with many other managers. So Eric, René Haken and Ruud van Nistelrooy have joined him, and the relationship with the both of them is also the same as with Eric. I would call that very good, because we respect, all of us respect each other a lot because of what these managers did at their former clubs. And they've been successful, all 3 of them, at the clubs they worked at in the past. So there's a good good relationship between us.
Friends?
No friends. No. Friends is something else, I think. But a very good relationship. But a friend is someone you see a lot and you go out with, either to dinner with. But that's not something we've done in the past. That's for that we don't know each other well enough.
Thank you.
Hi Anna. On Federico Chiesa, he hasn't played since the Euros and didn't have a pre-season. Just wondered, do the fans have to be a little bit patient with him to see the best out of him, and how excited are you to sign such an exciting winger who is still only 26?
Excited. Like I said before, if we sign someone that can help us achieving our goals and improve the squad, if we then find someone, of course you're really excited that we brought him in. I think one of the best things of working here, what I've noticed till now, is the culture of this team. They work really hard to try to achieve their goals, and I think then it's really important that the first player you bring in has that same attitude and that same how should I say this? Brings the same culture. So he works really hard on and off the pitch to try to get the best out of him, and he combines this with scoring goals and like I said, really aggressive without the ball, and those are already two characteristics with him. Playing on so many positions on the right, on the left, and maybe even in the middle, makes him an interesting signing for us. Although I agree with you, we should take care of him in the beginning because he didn't train with the team in the last 2 weeks, but before he did, haven't played many game minutes yet. But we have a very good performance staff, so we will build him up in the right way, and then hopefully we can see his quality in the near future.
And when you're in the Netherlands, I mean, you've experienced one of the fiercest rivalries in European football with Feyenoord against Ajax. I just wondered, how much does that experience prepare you for what is the biggest rivalry in English football?
I think preparing for every game takes a lot of time, one of the most important things is prepare them for what they can expect. And what they can expect is mostly about the players they face, but I think now playing in a hostile environment with 75,000, I think it's 75, isn't it? Players have to be aware of that, but the good thing for me is it might be my first time that I go there with Liverpool. It's going to be my second time over there. But many of these players have played there before, so I don't think I have to prepare them for these 75,000. They've been used to this. But I have prepared them in the best possible way of what they can expect, because United plays, in my opinion, a bit different than the last 2 seasons. So therefore I need to prepare them.
Arne, do you think talk of Chiesa's injury record is over-exaggerated? There's no concerns there for you at all?
Would be the first time that English media over-exaggerate, wouldn't it be? So, I think it's true that he had a long-term injury with his ACL, but for the rest I don't think he had big injuries, minor injuries like every other player maybe, but again we have a lot of trust in our performance staff, and the good thing is that he's not the only winger we have. He's 1 out of 4, where some others can play in that position as well. So if he's not available at certain moments, and it will not only be with him, it will also be with the others, then there are still enough choices for me to make, enough players for me to choose.
See any more outgoings today, Arne? Maybe someone like Benzo going out on loan, or Nat Phillips, who's been on the fringes of things?
Again, same for incoming transfers or loans. If it's the right opportunity for the player and for us as a club, we will act. And if that opportunity comes for the both of us, it will happen. But to be honest, my main attention is on United and not on the outgoing ones.
And just fitness-wise, how's Curtis Jones? Are there any more injuries?
At the moment, there are not any other injuries except for Curtis Jones, and he will not train with us today. So for the rest, will train with us today.
Yeah, Arne, a question. You said it's going to be your second time in Old Trafford.
Yeah.
What was the first time? How did you experience that?
Yeah, the moment I said it, I thought it's not so smart if people don't know that I've been there before, because we lost 4-0 with one of my former clubs in the, I think it was the Europa League when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was still there. So that wasn't the best experience, but it's also although we had a very good team back then with AZ Alkmaar at home, we played 0-0 against them. I think I have a better team now to go to Old Trafford, but you cannot compare, of course, anything.
And one question about in Holland, when we talk to trainers, managers who worked here, Van Gaal, Hiddink, Ten Hag, they all say the same, that they were surprised about the fact that in England there's always pressure on the ball. If you play United, if you play Yeovil Town, doesn't matter. Of course, you're only a short period here, but can you see what they experienced?
I'm not sure if they said this or meant this. What I see is maybe not that there's always pressure on the ball. Not every team has a high press, most of them do, though, but not every team has. But the physicality of the league is much higher than we are used to in Holland. So if you even in Holland you face the number of 10 to 18, then there's a lot less physicality. But when we played Ipswich, the first half, they conceded a few yellows who were maybe close to, in Holland, it would have maybe been a red card. That's a bit exaggerated, so I get used to the English media. But like I said, it's much harder to win against the number 10 to 18 than it is in Holland if you are Ajax or Feyenoord or PSV.
No, James? No.
Well,
Stefan, last one?
All right, Harvey Elliott hasn't really featured much this season. What's the plan with him and his game time?
Like all the others, it's the same. I think the disadvantage for some of them without having a lot of playing time is that we only have one game a week, so we don't have to manage game time in that perspective. Harvey came in 10 minutes, so that's not a lot, but he, like some others as well that are not playing, have a lot of competition. That's also one of the reasons why we only brought in one player, because we think we have a lot of good players and we already have a lot of competition. And Harvey will get, in my opinion, a lot of playing time if he keeps doing what he does at the moment, work really hard, show his quality when he comes in, and he already showed his quality in pre-season. But he's in competition at this moment. If you look at the player who's playing on his position, it's Dam Szoboszlai, who's done well in the first two games as well. So it's a luxury to have the choice between the two of them. You're welcome.
just check, is it too early for Chiesa this weekend then?
He's going to train with us today, but there's a bigger chance that he's not in the squad for Sunday than he is. But if injuries might come up in the upcoming 2 days, we might need him. But I don't expect him to be in. But I cannot guarantee that. Yeah.